Yesterday in downtown Phoenix,
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
a protest against immigration and customs enforcement taking place during what's been promised to be the biggest mass deportation in America's history. So what are immigration attorneys telling their clients? Let's talk to Salvador Macias, who's an immigration lawyer and an immigrant.
Not only an immigrant, Sal is an immigrant who has a pretty unique perspective, at least among lawyers. He's a DACA recipient brought to Arizona as a 4-year-old boy. And Sal, before we ask what you're telling your clients, are you worried for yourself or your family?
I mean, it's definitely something that has crossed our minds ever since the results of the election. I've described this a little bit like having Stockholm syndrome. It's falling in love with a country that doesn't necessarily love me, and it's difficult. But you find a way to kind of pick yourself up from the bootstraps and just kind of move forward and know that I have a certain set of skills that I've learned through education and I've been blessed to get. And now I'm just trying to help out those in my community that have those same fears.
Yeah, you told me when you were on my AZ Political podcast a few months ago, Sal, and I appreciate you joining me for that, by the way, that your wife is also undocumented. So does this put you guys in just a really precarious position?
Yes, I mean, we're talking about literally days after the election, we got a result on the Fifth Circuit that DACA is unconstitutional. Of course, that's going to get appealed to the Supreme Court, but if the Supreme Court comes down the same way, we're talking about me as an individual who's been in the United States nearly 30 years, who is a lawyer, all of a sudden being stripped of his ability to have a work permit and live here comfortably. So, yes, it's something that we definitely worry about.
So, Sal, I mean, ultimately, this is an immigration system that is broken by anybody's description. I don't care if you're left or right. So, what would you like to see happen as we try to move forward from this?
I think that the administration understands how perilous immigration has become, and that's why they're coming out with executive order after executive order, which I understand as someone who wants to get a hold on things. The problem that I've seen on the ground is that there are a lot of officers that are either being poorly trained at ICE or federal agencies that are not being properly trained on how to help ICE. I mean, yesterday alone, we had 3 women in Milwaukee, a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter, who were speaking Spanish at the store, and ICE picked them up. Now, they tried to tell them, we're Puerto Ricans, we are United States citizens, and they were still taken all the way to the field office. Now, that's an issue. I mean, we're getting U.S. citizens being picked up just because they were speaking Spanish. That is not okay. And if they're expressing the fact that they're Puerto Ricans and the officer does not understand that Puerto Ricans are American citizens, that's an issue. So what I think more than anything right now is I wish that the administration would take a beat, listen, develop proper planning, and then if they want to enforce their immigration laws, I mean, that's their prerogative. But my prerogative as an immigration attorney is making sure that people know their civil rights, know their constitutional rights, and that everyone is following those rights. If you're expecting immigrants to follow the laws of this country, I for damn sure am hoping that the administration and officers are following them as well.
All right. So, Sal, what are you telling people who have maybe a questionable legal immigration status?
I'm telling them to be cooperative. I'm telling them that, you have your right to exert the ability to have an attorney. You're willing to tell them, please tell them your name. You don't have to volunteer any additional information. They will investigate and they will find the proper results. What I'm also asking them is to be prepared. I mean, if you get picked up, we are seeing people being picked up. Have your birth certificates in order. Have a place where you have a power of attorney for a family member to be able to pick up your children. Have a game plan. Who's your emergency contact? Do you know a United States citizen or resident, a family member who might be able to pick up those pieces? Those are the best things that our community can really do.
Sal, thank you so much for your time and your perspective. Salvador Macias, an immigration attorney and an immigrant.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.